Today we're making a little piece of summer on a plate. Sauteed lemon garlic shrimp, stuffed squash blossoms, and they're stuffed with an herb ricotta, by the way, so it's like light and delicate. It's not slapping you in the face like goat cheese. And yes, there are baby artichokes with a delicious sauce. Okay, let's get started. I got these beautiful little baby artichokes at the farmer's market, so I'm gonna prep them, give them a light steam, and then finish them off in the oven to roast. I think that's the best way to like cook them fast, but also maintain all of that flavor. All right, we're gonna cut the stems off. Feels sad massacring these baby artichokes. They're so cute. But I want to take off the spiky edges and just remove the outer couple layers of leaves because they're fairly fibrous and tough. I'm going to plop these into the steamer and let them soften up a bit, kind of like parboiling something. And once they're done, maybe like in 10 minutes, I will transfer them to a baking sheet with some olive oil and salt, pepper, and seasonings. I'm using 4 garlic cloves. I won't be using them all together. Most of them are for the shrimp, but a little bit is for the filling of my squash blossoms. All right. Gonna give them a nice smash. Helps release the oil, and now I'm gonna mince them up. I love the bite of garlic, but I wanna temper it a bit, so I'm going to be cooking the garlic for 1 minute-ish in some nice warm butter. Then I can add some to my squash blossoms and some for the shrimp. For the filling, I'm also using like a small handful of fresh basil, and we're gonna give it a nice chop. Now we can start mixing. I'm using about like 2/3 of a cup of nice whole milk ricotta. I'm gonna add my basil in, the zest of a lemon, a little bit of my garlic mixture. Now let's give it a mix and see how much salt and pepper we need. That's so light, it's delightful. It's not overpowering, it's not like a goat cheese where it's like slapping you in the face with flavor. It's very nice and summery. I'm adding in just a sprinkle of sea salt. I'm transferring my mixture to a piping bag. It'll make it really easy to fill those squash blossoms up. I was lucky enough to find these squash blossoms at the farmer's market. It doesn't happen very often, but they're in season now. If you can't find them, I would suggest probably just making a salad to accompany this dish, or even like a potato puree. Just something that's a little bit substantial because these are beautiful ethereal flowers, but they'll be filled with cheese, which really like fills you up a bit. Okay, what we have to do to prepare these is a little bit different. We're going to cut the stem off. To open these squash blossoms, I find it's easier to give them a bit of a pinch at the base. I don't know why, but it encourages them to pop open. And then just tease the petals apart. They're pretty delicate and you don't want to manhandle them. Okay, so now I can see the inside. And you can see the flower's reproductive organ inside, which we're removing. Sorry, flower. That pops right out. This reminds me of my 6th grade science class. Then use your piping bag to fill that squash blossom up. Give it a very slight twist, and we're done. If it leaks a bit, totally not a problem. We're not gonna worry about little imperfections like that. Can't help myself tasting one raw. That's nice. So my plan was to take all these squash blossoms and then just put them on a tray and bake them to warm the ricotta inside. However, I just tasted one because I couldn't help myself, and it was great. I like the way it is cool. It's kind of like a gazpacho almost, where on a hot day you can have like a savory cold thing. This is really tasty. It's like a nice, beautiful ricotta salad, and the squash blossoms themselves have a nice taste. You don't need to cook them. I also think they'll be beautiful on the plate with this nice poppy saffron color. Okay, so I'm gonna cover these with a wet paper towel so they kind of maintain some of their turgidity, and then we're going to get to the artichoke section. So I steamed these for about 14 minutes, and if you take a toothpick, you can insert it inside, and they're basically cooked, but I'm gonna finish them off in the oven with a little roasting. A little bit of lemon juice, a little olive oil, sprinkle of salt, And I will cover them with foil and place in the oven for a little bit at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, I gotta prep that shrimp. So I'm gonna use some scissors and clip into that exoskeleton. Now I can see its digestive tract, which I'll be carefully removing with a knife. My shrimp are all deveined and now I'm removing the shell so I can saute them and that flesh will get all of the flavor. I love to leave the tails on though because they're little handles. Thanks, shrimp. I'm gonna season these little guys with some salt and some pepper. A little bit of butter on the pan. Whenever I asked my mom why her eggs were so delicious, she would say, oh, just a drop of butter. So I added my cooked garlic in, my bouquet of shrimp, and let's toss those in. I think that's done. All right, I'm taking it off the heat now, and I'm adding in some lemon juice. These artichokes are beautiful, but I can't eat them without a little bit of sauce. You can add a bit of lemon juice if you're feeling frugal, but I'm gonna make a creamy aioli, which will go amazingly on top of these. Okay, onto that. 3 egg yolks, about 1 clove of garlic, maybe 1.5 if you're feeling spicy, a little bit of salt. You have the juice of half of a lemon. Cap it off. We're gonna pulse it while we add the olive oil in. Let it run. Okay, now we have this beautiful, creamy, dreamy aioli, which is one of my favorite things for artichokes. Look at that consistency. It's like a little bit of sunshine. Taste. That's so nice. I'm gonna drizzle this on one of my artichokes for a test. So good, people. If you can make your own aiolis, the world is your oyster. So many things you can add this onto and it just ups the flavor. Lemon, garlic, salt, that bite, the creaminess, it really works. Aside from amazing taste, this dish is all about visual appeal. Look at those squash blossoms. So when you arrange them on the plate, give it some thought, add a couple sprigs of basil for contrast. Same goes for the artichokes, and I like to arrange my shrimp as like a little cluster, but you can do it however you want. Finish the dish off with a nice drizzle of aioli, sprinkle of chopped parsley, and it's ready to eat. Okay, I've arranged a small bite so I can take a taste on camera, let you know what I think, but I've been eating this off camera and it's delicious. I'm telling you in advance. All right, the stuffed squash blossoms are like a little just beautiful ray of sunshine. They're stuffed flowers. How could you not love that? All the recipes I'd seen for fried squash blossoms made me think, oh, they can only be fried. But it's not true. They have a beautiful taste naturally and kind of like a little bit of a little nettle to them almost, if you know what I mean. Okay. It's really good. Make this recipe. Thanks so much for watching. Hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe.